Hi, my name is Joni and I'm the director of Golden Poppy Preschool here in Corte, Madera, California. I've been a director here for the last year and have taught in the 5 through 2-year-old classes over the last 16 years, and I have had my 2 sons here as well. Our normal hours are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. with an option for preschool students to come 9 to 12:30 or 9 to 3 o'clock. And right now under COVID guidelines, we have our hours switched to 8 to 5, and all of our teachers are working the same shift and staying in cohort groups of 12 children or less. We are a year-round school. Although we do take off federal holidays, we have 4 staff development days and a week and a half in the winter. We believe that having carefully planned activities that are developmentally appropriate give the children the best opportunity to learn and to grow and thrive. So our assistant director, Tabitha, has created for us 4 years of curriculum to use as a model for the teachers so that they can get really in-depth into individual areas or individual themes, and that won't be repeated year after year. We include the ABCs, math, science, all the regular academics in a structured environment with opportunities for free choice for the children. We believe in positive discipline, using reinforcement of all the good behavior they have, as well as redirecting them when it's needed. We have a loving and supportive environment, and we ask the children to speak up for themselves. So we have them learn to say when they don't like something, how it makes them feel, and then what they want in the future. We try to provide this scaffolding for them where they can learn and explore, and where the teachers are only here to help guide and help them problem solve so that they can learn to thrive and be ready for kindergarten by the time they leave. So this is our kitten room. It's our youngest group of children, ages 6 weeks to around their first birthday, with a ratio of 1 to 4, though we strive for a ratio of 1 to 3. We have a little area in here where mothers can come nurse, and a little play area for children in order to keep them separate from the older ones that are crawling. We have parents sign in daily on our electronic system. We make sure that each child has a primary caregiver to ensure that we follow a nap and bottle and feeding schedule, and to build trust and a relationship with that caregiver, even though they will be cared for by all of the teachers in our classroom. For older children that are learning to feed at the table, we can hand them a spoon so they get used to holding on to one, and they start using finger foods in order to develop their pincer grip. We've got some indoor structures for them to be able to climb on, as well as a nap area here, as you can see, with a crib for each child. The classroom also has a dishwasher and washer and dryer so that they can sanitize and clean all of your child's items daily, so you're not having to take this kind of stuff home. And then for our diaper changing areas, we just ask that parents each bring in their own children's type of diapers and wipes to be shared. The teachers are constantly talking and singing with the children. They give them tiny time. We've got little structures for them to pull up on. And by the end of this classroom, they should be taking 1 to 2 naps a day, learn how to be gentle with others, and learn how to share, such as by playing ball back and forth with each other. So this is our kitten room. Cub room with buggy for yard time and a garden. And this age group is ages right around 1 to 2 years old, with a ratio of 1 to 4. As you can see, we've got the partition up right now for COVID times. But in this classroom, they have their own washer and dryer and dishwasher so that they can sanitize everything for you. You don't have to take anything home. The teachers rotate responsibility in here for routine care and the educational activities so that the caregivers and children really get to develop a relationship unique to themselves, and the children learn to build trust with all of the teachers. We've got lots of structures for them to climb on. At snack and activity time, we include baby signs, animal noises, puzzles, books, babies, tons of gross motor stuff, including our outside play structures I'll show you in just a moment. When they're sitting down on chairs that are right down at the ground at their own level, so they're learning how to sit up on their own. Developmentally, we do some finger foods and spoon practice, as well as simple words, holding crayons, fitting objects into spaces, sitting in the small chairs, and taking turns running and climbing and listening and learning impulse control. They have a separate room here for a nap time, and they sleep on these little cots that are just a few inches off of the floor. Outside is the rest of our cub yard. Right now we have the sand area blocked off, but a nice big playground, lots of structures for the children for climbing, and then there's some push toys that they keep locked up at night, and this allows them to be able to walk around, explore, dig, build, and climb. Welcome to our tiger room. This is our room for children ages 2 to 2 and 9 months, or about 3 years old, with a 1 to 6 teacher to child ratio. They have a planned structure in this room, including circle time, activities where they split the group in half. Half the children are outside on their little yard, while the other half of the children are inside doing the activity and potty training. And they have regular lunch and nap time. They work on the letter of the week at circle time, where they clap out the syllables. So A is for alligator. They'll clap out alligator for the children to learn syllables and copy words. Developmentally, they're working on climbing, pedals, jumping. Fine motor is changing from a palmar grip to a pincer grip so they can start tracing. They practice cutting, lots of make-believe. They do counting, numbers, shapes, letters, reading, repetitive songs. Language and communication at this age really grows from about 50 to 300 words. They work on labeling feelings and emotions. Children learn about cause and effect, and they change from parallel play or side-by-side play to cooperative play. They also develop their self-help skills by carrying their own lunch, washing hands, cleaning up, and potty training. This increase in responsibility also increased their self-worth. There's a yard out here only for the 2-year-old classroom, although they share the older classroom. Under normal circumstances, they do have their own yard here. There's daily communication that goes out to the parents. That's via email, and it's all about their day and how things were going, as well as a monthly newsletter, and including calendars for the morning and afternoon, so you know what your little one's doing while they're at school. Welcome to our leopard room. This is our room of children around 2 and 9 months or 3 years old to about 3 and a half or 4 years old. Right now, as you can see, the room is split in two, so we can have 2 separate cohort groups in here. they have an opportunity for free choice and exploration, but it's based on a structured flow from one activity to another, including circle, small group activities, story time, snack time, naps. In circle time, they work on the letter of the week, and children bring in a share item or learn new words in a letter book. When they're sitting down for activities, they're doing pre-K level worksheets. Developmentally, they're learning respect for others and themselves, impulse control, sharing, taking turns. They learn to listen and follow instructions at least 2 directions at a time. Fine motor, they practice by signing in daily with 2-inch letters. They do tracing and cutting on the line. For gross motor development, they have some bicycles. They go out to the big yard, and they have their own jungle gym out on the playground. They also develop self-confidence through mastering new skills, such as practicing a puzzle over and over until they understand and can do it all on their own. This is Milo, their little class bunny. And then they have their own yard out here with the jungle gym. The teachers in this room send out daily and weekly notes to parents via email, including pictures, stuff that the children are doing in the classroom. And they have a monthly calendar and newsletter to give specific information about the day and questions to ask about the activities that have gone on during the day. And be sure to ask about their friends and what they've been up to. Welcome to the Lion Room. This room is 3.5 or 4-year-olds up until 4.5 or 5. As you can see, it's split right now to have 2 separate cohort groups. Each morning the children come in, they sign in their name using 1-inch letters. They have free choice in the morning and Friday afternoons. Otherwise, they have a really structured flow to their day with circle, big yard, small group activities in rotation where they learn about math, science, language, and fine motor. Developmentally, the children are expected to listen and follow directions the very first time. We use pre-K and kindergarten worksheets in order to stretch their learning. They really develop complex gross motor awareness. They've got self-confidence through task mastery. They raise hands to be called on and share items during circle time in order to learn a little bit of public speaking with an emphasis on the letter of the week. We also emphasize verbal communication rather than physical response, and being a good citizen of the classroom, sharing time, space, materials, and friends, and respecting others. We have weekly and daily emails that go out to the parents to kind of tell you a little bit about the day, and monthly newsletters and calendars. And this classroom also shares our big yard with the TK classroom. In January, they do formal conferences to get your children ready for either TK or kindergarten. Our big yard, you see the Legos, and we've got some garden boxes currently growing tomatoes. Picnic tables so that we can bring things outside under our shade structure. We have built a cornhole game for the children to use out here. We've got a couple of basketball hoops, one low for the younger kids and one standard for our eldest, as well as a big play structure, tire swing, monkey bars, And as you can see, our sandbox, some of our areas are currently blocked off during COVID times. This is our bear room, which is our oldest group. The children in this group are ages 4.5 to about 6 years old. It's a TK group. They run the classroom kind of like a kindergarten. Instead of having small groups, all children participate in an activity. They clean up and then they move on to the next activity, such as quiet reading, all on their own without being told by a teacher. We emphasize autonomy in this way, and we give consistent guidelines, including respect and first-time listening at this age. They use kindergarten and first grade worksheets in order to teach the children math, science, and language arts. They do a mystery share where children try to stump their friends. In doing so, they're learning proper speech, articulation, pronunciation of phonics, and early reading skills. They have some teacher-directed drawing, science experiments, and games that they play outside. The teachers assist in problem solving and allow children to express their feelings and work out issues with their friends. They also have daily emails to let the parents know what's going on inside the classroom, as well as a monthly newsletter and calendars that go out. They've got morning and afternoon programs. They've got their own garden out here that they work on, and this yard they share. Our big yard has a huge structure on it, as well as bikes for the kids to play.